This is Colin Murray on the biggest sports radio station in the world, Talksport.
If there was a world record for how much pizza you can eat in 2.5 minutes, I think we might have just broke that record. It was like an episode of Man vs. Food out there in the Talksport gallery. But good work. The pepperoni always goes first. Always goes first. Hope you enjoy your bank holiday. And we're going to talk now to Ed Wood, who's a Derby County fan who's taken some time off for a very good reason. I believe, Ed, welcome to the show, by the way.
Hi. Hi.
You set a world record way back, didn't you, for travelling around football grounds? Tell us about the original.
Yeah, there was the guy who set the record originally did it in 264 days. Well, there's two of them, actually. A guy called Bob Wilson and Mike Jones. They did it in 264 days.
Uh-huh.
I've spoken to Mike Jones recently, and he sounds an absolutely fantastic guy. He's visited 140 grounds and commentated at all those grounds, and he's been all over Europe. So he did it in 1969, and then the record stood, and I did it in 91, 92. I did it in 243 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody beat me in 94, 95. They did it in 237 days. A guy called Ken Ferris.
Yeah.
He's chief sports writer for Reuters, actually. But
yeah. Is he? Would you view him as a comrade of sorts because he's taken the record on that you had, or is he a mortal enemy?
To be fair, I have phoned him up, and he's got my number, but he said, I'll get back to you. He's a bit busy for the Olympics, but I am really hoping to meet him. Okay. So, yeah, I don't see him as my enemy at all. No, nothing like that.
Right, now this begs the question, why 93? So why is it 93 and not 92?
Yeah, so Mike Jones, when I was speaking to him, what he said was he created the record effectively because he thought it was a good one to do. And what he tried to do was to make it as hard as possible for anyone to beat it. So the record is just league games. You can't do cup games, reserve games or friendlies. And whilst he was doing it as well, he said that he thought another thing to make it harder would be to include Berwick because they're an English team who play in the Scottish leagues. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's 93 rather than 92.
Right.
But yeah.
So it's not just like go outside the ground, have a picture taken. You have to attend a match at each of these.
Yeah, proper. Yeah. So I've got to get signed in by stewards before the starts and signed out by stewards after the game finishes.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I am getting most games a bit earlier and leaving after people have left to make sure that people know I'm there.
Right, and this is what I find quite interesting about it because this is it. So you're going to take a long time off work, and imagine, so nearly 2/3 of a year. Have you had to quit your job, or have they been quite caring about this?
I've got 4 months off. Yeah, I did ask about 18 months ago if I could do it, and so the company I work for has been very accommodating. Mm-hmm. I've got 4 months off from September to the end of December. I've got 2 weeks holiday I'm taking now as well from the middle of August.
But that's not enough days unless you're going to smash the record.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to finish it on the 28th of February. But I did a virtual one last season where I pretended I was going to the games to see how the fixtures evolved over the season. I know this sounds awful, but so what happens is all the Division 1, Division 2 games hardly ever move at all. And if I was doing it just those games, I couldn't do it any quicker. And all the Championship and Premier League games fit in the middle as Sky moved them all around. So that's how it works a little bit.
So what do you think your target is then for the new record?
I think I'm hoping to do it in 200 days, which will take me to the end of February.
Right, so there'll be nervous calls to work, making more days off. How much money will it cost you to do it?
I budgeted at 10 grand, and that included staying over in hotels and stuff. But some of my friends have been very helpful, letting me stay in some of their front rooms and stuff. So hopefully it'll be a bit less. Yeah, and I get to keep my car as well on sabbatical, which is nice. So yeah.
And what about tickets? So you having to pay into every ground, or do the grounds generally say, "Great idea, here's a free ticket"?
I've been to 11 so far. I've had three free tickets. Oldham were the first ground I went to, and I got a press pass. And then I was on the pitch at half time, so that was great. Man United, one of my friends knows somebody at Man United, so I got one for that. And then my brother-in-law knows somebody at Derby, and they got me a ticket, unfortunately, for Burton against Derby, which was a bit of a car crash, actually. But yeah.
What if you can't get a ticket to a game? What if it's sold out? So you've got your last ground, you got to go to Liverpool or something. It's the opening of the new stadium. Can't get in. What are you going to do? Are you going to the touts get involved? Does it get a bit seedy?
Well, last time I did it, I did use touts for Man United, but Yeah, that's part, I suppose that's part of the challenge a little bit. Is a couple of the grounds I'm most worried about at the moment are Liverpool and Spurs. I don't know if you can help me with the Liverpool one. But yeah, those are two.
Not going to be a problem, Ed. Not going to be a problem there.
I've got this recorded.
What is your job, Joe?
Ed. It's Ed.
Sorry. I'm looking at this.
Nice work, Mickey.
Ed, yeah. What is your job?
I work for Lloyd's Banking Group. Hopefully that doesn't count against me. But yeah, I work for a bank.
So you got that time off. Some would say you would have had that off anyway. And off you go to 11 in already. So what's next for you? What's the next game?
So, because it's only league games, I can't do any this week. I know there's some cup games and stuff. So I'm visiting a friend down in south of the M25. So I'm thinking of either going to Portsmouth or Wimbledon on Saturday. Then it's Gillingham on Sunday. Yeah. Then there's a bit of a break, and then there's I think there's about 10 games I have to do in 9. I can do in 9 days from the following weekend. So there's a couple of games that I can do 2 in the same day on. So Mansfield to Notts County. On Saturday, I went to Grimsby on the way from Derby, but on the way there, I went to Mansfield and then drove from Mansfield to Notts County to see if I could do it in 45 minutes driving. But I'm thinking I'm going to get a motorbike to take me from outside Mansfield to Notts County to get from one to the other.
And why is it taking you so long to try and break your world record?
Well, I started going out with my girlfriend about 12 years ago, and she's always been quite adamant that if I tried to do it again, that's it, finished. So fair enough. So maybe about 2.5 years ago, I fell off my bike, smashed my arm in quite badly. And then, so I was there with a sling. We had the Tour de France come past the front of our house in Yorkshire. And we had a barbecue, and this bloke turned up, a friend of the neighbours called Simon Hood. And he'd cycled on a push bike to every single York City game, home and away in the season.
Nice.
So I was there with him. My friends were there. And I said, I'd love to do my record again. And in a moment of weakness, she said, OK, I'll let you do it. Yeah, that's been the sort of, that's been it, really.
Either a moment of weakness or there's enough for you now after all those years, It's probably closer and closer to it. Well, listen, best of luck to you, Ed. If people want to follow it, where should they have a look?
So I've got a Facebook page, Edward 93 Challenge, and there's also 93 challenges on there to do at each of the, not at each of the grounds, but to do over the stuff. So that's where it is. There's a few Twitter followers as well I've got with a similar name. So yeah, thank you for allowing me to allowing that to be shared.
So, because you got wear a kilt at a game, you got to use a vuvuzela at a game. Good luck with that, by the way. If I saw you using that, there's only one place that's going. You ain't getting it. You ain't driving to the next game. That's for sure. Yeah.